Hi, I'm Linda Eedes from Foord Asset Management, and I'm here today with Mike Townshend, who is one of our portfolio managers and also covers some of the resource stocks for the team. So Mike, there's been a lot of very interesting developments in the resources industry over the recent past. Can I first start by asking you to summarize what's been happening in particular between Anglo American and BHP Billiton?
Well, as we all know, Anglo American has historically been one of the biggest companies listed on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. And then on the 25th of April, BHP approached the Anglo board with an offer to take over the company at what was a 21% premium to the then share price of Anglo American. The Anglo board rebuffed this. BHP came back twice more, offering a further 15% and then 9% premium. So in total, it meant that there were close to a 50% premium to the Anglo's share price prior to 25th of April. The Anglo's board rebuffed all of these offers. And then in the meantime, what Anglo's management announced was a major restructuring in which they were going to unbundle Anglo American Platinum, which was one of the proposals that BHP had made as well. They were wanting to sell their coal assets. They were also looking to get rid of De Beers, which, remember, that was where Anglo American all started under the Oppenheimers over 100 years ago. And so this really shook up the global resources industry. BHP being the largest mining company in the world, and Anglo not as big as BHP, but a significant player in the commodity space as well.
So Mike, why is BHP actually interested in Anglo American in the first place?
BHP has slimmed down to 4 core businesses. They've got iron ore, which is their main pillar, which represents roughly 70% of their operating profit. The next biggest division is copper, and then they've got potash, which they're growing in Canada, and then they've got a relatively small coal business as well. But the commodity that BHP is most excited in is copper. And we all know copper is used extensively in renewables, in electric vehicles. It's almost viewed as being a new age metal, which everybody wants to produce more, and finding good quality copper assets is extremely difficult. Now with what BHP really wants within Anglo American is Anglo's high quality copper assets, their new Quellaveco mine in Peru, and then they've got great copper mines in Chile as well. So those are the jewels within the Anglo crown that BHP was interested in. But then they would have liked to add to their coal exposure, and the rest of the Anglo's assets they probably would have divested from.
Now, Mike, the question is, do you think that this is the end of the road for BHP's bid? And do you think that there's a likelihood that Anglo American might be safe as a standalone company for another 100 years?
Well, on the 29th of May, which was our election day, BHP's final approach to Anglo American was turned down. So what Anglo American is now going to do is continue with its restructuring program, which will shrink it down to 3 core assets, which are its high quality copper assets in South America, its 2 iron ore assets of Minas Rio in Brazil and Kumba here in South Africa. And then they have scaled down the development of their Woodsmith mine, which is in the United Kingdom. So in my mind, this asset actually becomes very appealing, not only to BHP, but to a number of other players in the commodity space as well. So I think there's a very real likelihood that within a year, BHP will relook at Anglo American, see how the restructuring has progressed, and then perhaps come back with another bid. So I really don't think Anglo American is going to remain listed as a separate entity within, let's say, 3 years.
Well, Mike, it'll be very interesting to see how this all plays out. Thank you so much for your input. We'll be no doubt watching this very closely. And thank you to everyone who's joined us for this conversation today.